Hello, VTubers. Here we are for a Thursday late afternoon, aren't we? The 10th of August. My, where has the year gone? It's absolutely sultry where I am in your Sussex. Yes, it is. Anyway, got Jeffrey Bezos delivered me my new thingy today. Yes, he did. I'm up there now. I'm up there in the echelons, I am, VTubers. Yes, your old Gert. I'm very technological. You know that word. I'm up there, I'm all techie. Yes, I've got a new one. I'm of the generation where something breaks, it's literally no excuse for not sort of ploughing on and just using it. You know, until it occurred to me yesterday that I do have on my fashionable iPhone a little app for your Jeffrey Bezos. Yes, I do. So, there you go, pressed a few buttons, pulled a few knobs, and the next thing you know, a rather nice young man was delivering me my new dongle. Yes, he was. So I've got you all steady today. Yes, we're not going to go all over the place. You're not going to have my finger in the way of one thing and another. But the bad news is I've got you here, champagne socialist, haven't I? Yeah, and we do like them, don't we? I mean, champagne's nice anyway to start with, isn't it? Yes, it is. So here we have, well, he's a fanatic in the same vein as your Billy Graham, but without the religion. He's just replaced the religion for some sort of political mumbo-jumbo fanaticism. And I've slowed him down because we all know that champagne is an inebriant, isn't it? So I thought we'd have him suitably slowed down. Yes, so we can all listen to his absolutely incoherent mumbo-bleeding-jumbo. Come on, let's all have a look. Shall we? Shall we go forth together? Oh dear, I'm almost embarrassed for him, the poor little man. He struggled, you know, through being upper middle class and having to go to private school. Oh, it was terrible for him, you know. And there he lives. Shush a minute. He lives in the leafy suburbs of which I am very, very familiar, all of which are rather wonderful, yes. Especially when you're cleaning up round that way, do you get me, capiche? Very salubrious they are, yes. And here he is pontificating and enunciating on all manner of shit.
Bibby Stockholm
yes.
barge is not on the front pages of many, if any, newspapers today. And it took me...
and he wanted it to be, obviously, because if it's not on the front page, he ain't got nothing to moan about, has he? So, come on.
moment to work it out.
Come on,
because
Jimmy.
Certainly broadcast media...
Yeah.
And... obviously that includes ours,
yeah.
Are all over it. And it's because of the pictures and the phone-in potential.
Is it?
So, bizarrely, it doesn't work as a front-page story in quite the same way.
Dr. Jimmy and Mr. Jim.
That you might expect
Come on.
would.
Get to the point, man.
You don't have...
Yes.
I don't know what the word is, the urgency, the animation, but none of them.
You don't know what the word is, but you're going to have a good go, aren't you? Just sully forth, use all manner of adjectives that you can, and no matter if they're pertinent or impertinent. No, just you go for it, James. I would.
But not even the
have another suck.
I haven't got to the sun yet. I should probably have checked first.
Suck on another glass of champers.
What the hell is that about? So that is quite surprising, given how the government's plan is presumably to garner as much media attention as possible. But they're still getting plenty.
All his faux indignation, you know. I'm really indignant about something or other. I'm not sure which, but it sounds good, so whatever.
It's just my little media 101 for you. It's not particularly pertinent or germane to much that follows.
Right.
Except that I am once again resisting and rejecting the temptation not to talk about it at all. I think Louise Hay, the Labour politician there, making quite a lot of sense. Is it 15 men that are on the boat now out of an asylum?
Is it? You know exactly how many it is. You know exactly how many it is, you rabble-rouser. Come on, Jimmy boy.
Figures.
Oh, Danny boy.
That doesn't make sense.
That's not the same name, is it?
According to the laws of
Excuse
logic.
me.
The media doesn't obey the laws of logic.
No.
Politics stopped obeying the laws of logic in 20...
Nor does socialism, nor champagne. No, neither of those actually follow the laws of what one might call logic. Not many things do, James. You know, get with the programme. Logic to you is, well, it's another world, isn't it? It's living somewhere salubrious, probably a gated community. Yes, travelling everywhere in paid-for accommodation only. Or probably looking at you, you're in the bicycle lane. Rather too long, aren't you? Rather too fond of cycling along, aren't you, Jimmy boy? Yes, you are. Going through all the red lights. Yeah, you don't care.
16. But the idea that it is, what's the story?
I
the
don't know.
Asylum backlog?
I thought you were going to tell me.
Because if the asylum backlog is the story, then the destination of 15 asylum seekers is absolutely negligible, irrelevant, and profoundly unimportant.
But
so
you keep
why
talking
is
about
it
such
I
don't know, James. Just spit it out. Tell me. What?
That
Come
be
on,
a question
man.
that I will invite you to answer probably in the course of this morning. But it's not the thing that intrigues me most. First up, part of me wonders.
Elbow deep in deckle, don't you know, man?
And there is still room for answers to that question.
Yeah, go on then.
Part of the answer has been provided by 30p Lee, the potato-headed deputy chairman.
Oh, hashtag be kind. Let's all be nice to everybody. Let's not body shame, fat shame, or intellect shame.
The Conservative Party.
Let's just call them names.
For lying to a journalist about the identity of a bloke on whose door he was about to
Do you know, I was really worried what he was going to say then. I thought he was going to say something about a blow.
And
he said bloke.
Sick to realise that he was being recorded on his telephone talking to his friend, saying, pretend you don't know me when I come knocking on your door. And
but you have paid people that ring up and get all indignant on your behalf, James, so shut up, whatever, mate. Anyway, geezer, listen up, get us another pint.
When he did come knocking on his door and his friend pretended not to know him, I think he started talking about how he'd like to bring back the bird.
Pretend not to know you, more like.
Or the cat of nine tails, which gives you precisely the sort of idea
for everybody being cancelled and debanked. What you, Jimmy boy?
He talks about when he's down the pub. So that was his claim to fame. That was his qualification.
Right, this is a serious question, Voodoo World. Is James going out with Sheila Fogarty? Are they a couple? Are they an item? Albeit, ostensibly, you know, half of Northern Ireland they make up, or at least the Isle of Wight size. Yes, I don't know. Are they married? I don't know. Yes. Nobody knows. I don't think they know. Do we need to know? In fact, now I think of it, I'm not sure I want to know.
For being promoted to deputy chairman.
Because they sing on the same song sheet, don't they, Voodoo?
About it to journalists. And that, sadly, in 2023, is pretty much what Rishi Sunak needs.
What?
From a backbench MP, from the sort of Jonathan Gullis, 30p Lee, Brendan Clark school of.
He's an angry little man.
And
he's so cross with everybody.
And of course,
he is in a sort of brain dead sort of. You get the impression that kind of sort of adding on words that he uses. He doesn't really know what he's on about. He knows he should be annoyed. He knows he should be flabbergasted. He knows his ghast should be well and truly flabbered. He just can't articulate it because he does it day in, day out, for what, 3 hours? Oh my days. And here he is, his little brain is struggling to still be indignant about something that's a nothing burger. Come on, James.
Sit here and clutch our pearls.
Go on, you're doing that already, mate.
Educated Secretary of State
I'm clutching them on your behalf.
Alex Chalk this morning.
I'm clutching more than my pearls, to be fair.
Essentially endorsed.
Yes, I am.
30p Lee Anderson's
now stop being rude about people. Now that's not nice, because you're an avowed lefty and it's hashtag be kind. Now stop calling Lee 30p Lee just because he's working class and he was a miner. That's just mean. Now stop it. And I don't mean miner as in attracted. I mean miner as in somebody with a spade and a hard hat and went down the mines and dug up bleeding coal. Yes, to fire the electric bleeding power stations that give you your electric so you can talk smack on bleeding LBC. For however much it is, probably at £80,000, if not more a year. Idiot.
Oh, that's a shocker. And I fell into that
he's shocked.
trap.
He's shocked at the truth.
But they knew what they were buying. They knew what they were signing up for. Rishi Sunak knew exactly what he was doing when he promoted a man who'd already said that...
How do you know he knew what he was doing? Because we all know that he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing at any given moment, neither do you. I mean, most of us don't, do we? Or do we? Anything could happen at any moment. It usually does.
Really
especially if you're James. Oh, James, stop. Just get in full flow, dear.
Get it over with. In the next general election, and they can't do what they did last time, which was to blow smoke up people's backsides about Boris Johnson and tell lies about Brexit, while capitalising on the fact that Jeremy Corbyn was
I like breakfast. Stop slacking off breakfast. It's my favourite meal.
The Labour leader in living memory.
Who is?
So he said this on record. It's on tape.
Who's the most unpopular?
Essentially admitting the only chance that Tories have got in the next election is to inflate transgender conversations and fight these so-called culture wars.
Oh, is it?
That's how you end up deputy chairman, and that's why you say with a degree of impunity stuff that...
It's the lazy fiddle classes, politics and media bleeding people that keep this country in a stagnated state that it's in. Instead of moving forward, we're going round and round like a hamster on a wheel. So these people, him, and many, many, many hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people just like him can pay their mortgage. Meanwhile, when you go up every high street, shops are boarded up, there's more homeless, there's this, there's that, there's the other going on. But these people sit there day in, day out, pontificating, talking a load of old bleeding twaddle. He's probably never spoken to anybody that wasn't from his sort of cultural background. Let alone an asylum seeker, or a homeless person, or an ex-veteran, or even a bleeding veteran.
He would have got you thrown out of the British National Party when Nick Griffin was trying to sanitise it shortly before appearing on Question Time.
They're all on the same side.
15 or so years ago. How fast the world has fallen. Even Farage.
You wait, I'll bring you Sheila Fogarty tomorrow if I get time.
Would have fought shy in public of saying something like F off back to France. But the world has changed, and what was
most people tell you to just F off back to Chelsea, Camden or Kensington or wherever it is you come from, innit? Or Notting Hill, Herne Hill, same thing. Just leave us alone and go back to your leafy suburbs is what they say. No, they don't. Do you know what I mean? And any time there's any trouble, it's not in any of the rich areas, let's put it that way. No.
Acceptable has become not just acceptable but Tory party policy. So spare me the sort of
spare you,
shock and
spare
horror
us
that a Secretary of State for Justice should join in with this sort of racist baiting.
You just know what he's like. He's the angry man at the bar in the pub, isn't he? He really is. You just got to listen to him going on and on and on and on. It's worse if you're the barmaid, isn't it? You know what I mean? Every now and again you're like, shall I get you another drink? Just so like there's some sort of end result in having to listen to his diatribe. They're everywhere, men like him. And you can see him struggling for a salient thought, really. He doesn't really know what he thinks. He knows what he's been told to think or whatever, but he doesn't really know. It's like me discussing walking on the moon or going up in a rocket like somebody. I've heard that they're doing that today. So that's a real thing now. Yes, they're gonna have what is it? Whatever, going up into space, tourism, that sort of thing. That's the word, you got there in the end, girl. Space tourism. Yeah, he could be talking about space tourism. It's something he doesn't know about, but he's heard about, you know? Just BS.
That's why he was fired. That's why he is there.
Fired.
And that's why he's saying it. They know it's not true.
Do they?
But just think about the logic of 30p Lee's position.
Oh, he's pointing now, Vuccin's pointing now.
But he wants French authorities to arrest people.
He's had half a dozen pints
making their way towards the United Kingdom. So by any even vaguely logical analysis, which I grant you is too
I'm not
big
going to serve you any more, James. You've had enough.
Man, he would want British authorities to arrest refugees trying to make their way to France.
Would they?
Otherwise, it's one rule for us and another rule for everybody else.
Is it?
If it's wrong for them to come here and French authorities should be trying to stop them, then if they get here and decide to make their way back because they don't like the accommodation, then it should be up to our authorities to arrest them in order to prevent them from doing the thing that he's passionately...
What the bleeding hell are you going on about? You need to stay away from the bleeding baby sham. That's what you need to do. What the blue... What? I can't, I'm not going to rewind it. I mean, my brain's tired enough with normal thoughts.
Opposed
Jesus.
to when the traffic is moving in the opposite direction.
Have you
took
something?
It's not about logic. It's
no,
not
well,
about
it's not when you
it's about
put it that way,
throwing
James.
red meat. And
of course it's not about
if
logic.
You like, turning bigotry and ignorance
it's
into
about paying me mortgage by
Tory
getting on it,
policies.
stirring
Which is why when Nick
nest,
asked Alex Chalk this morning about these comments, Alex Chalk had no choice
bring
but
nothing
to
positive to the
them.
table, call people
he
names.
He probably didn't foresee that being his
Rabble
job when he decided to go into politics. I'm going to have to appear on national radio and stick up for a bloke who makes the national
media took over from where the church left off, didn't they, really?
Palatable, but hey-ho, that's what I signed up for. And
did you?
Rishi Sunak's promise of professionalism, accountability and integrity means that I, Alex Chalk, Justice Secretary, have to appear on national radio today.
He's talking in the third person. You're not Alex Chalk, so you don't really know what he was thinking. And you're a public figure up there with a platform, and you're giving it so much granny and lemon. I've never heard Tommy rot in my whole life. You don't know what a minister was thinking. He was a minister for justice. And so he got up there and he said, oh, I didn't know I was going to have to... Shut up. Bleeding rabble-rouser, moron.
And say stuff like this.
The British people, we're fair-minded people.
Oh, in a minute.
But what we don't think is fair is to say that people who arrive illegally should be profiting from that illegality in 4-star accommodation. That's why we're looking at military bases. That's why we're looking at the Bibby Stockholm. So we will provide accommodation. Yeah, it's not going to be the Ritz. It's going to be pretty austere. It's going to be pretty functional. But that's not unreasonable.
Why is he lying?
Well, he's briefed wrong anyway, because it's not, 4-star accommodation per se. The way I've looked at it is the Bibby Stockholm. It's a massive, great big boat. It's on water. Call it a barge. It's not a barge. It looks like a cruise ship, right? But without the pointy bit. It's more square because it's what's called a barge girt. And from what I can tell, they can house, 500 and something men on it. They've got 15, and they're all ensuite accommodation. You got restrooms. You got a kitchen. Dining room, whatever, 3 meals a day, blah, 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 blah. Now, I don't know about you YouTube viewers, but I call that a bleeding cruise. I do. You're on water with ensuite accommodation. They're giving me free food. I'm in. Do you get me? I mean, I'll go down there now. In fact, I'll be honest, I've already got my Wally trolley packed. I'm ready to go. But apparently, again, I'm too old and I'm the wrong sex. And not only that, YouTube, turns out I'm the wrong bloody colour. And the wrong religion. Well, I'm not any religion, but do you get me, capiche? I'm not allowed on the Bibby Stockholm. And I'd love it. I would blooming well love it. And put your hands up. It's in Dorset, eh? It's beautiful down there. Apparently they've got a bus. They take you down to pool. They do. You go on the beach and everything. Yes, I'll get some noddy swimming in. Carlisle food too. Yes, I could. I'll get myself a nice suntan. Yes. But this bleeding melt. And people like him aren't making this situation any better. What's really going on over there is a whole different words from all these talking heads that are just playing tennis with the situation. The right say the left say the right. The Liberals just hiding under the table, not saying anything, are they? You know what I mean? Anybody that says this is that, they've all got to be labelled. And meanwhile, there's people that are being trafficked into this country. I mean, that's the salient point. Let's have it right. Apparently. I mean, I don't know. But I've been over Songat. And all the people I've seen in Songat, I've been over there a number of times, yeah? Between me, you, and the Voodoo world. Yes, don't tell anyone, yes. I've been over there a number of times, and they ain't got €6 in their pocket, let alone 25,000 or whatever amount of money they're supposed to be giving the traffickers to get over here. I'm not paying them shit, and anybody that thinks they are dumber than me. Anyway, having said that, old James is here and he's stirring the pot, so let's crack on, James. Come on, James. Come on, James.
Saying about the accommodation that asylum seekers already receive.
Right.
Why is he talking about the Ritz?
I don't know.
And 4-star hotels.
I don't know.
Now, there might be a hotel near you.
I don't know about you, James, but any time I hear the word ensuite, I'm automatically at the Ritz or somewhere in mind. Do you get me? Do you know what I mean, capiche? Because most of us, ensuite is having a lavvy at the end of the garden, innit, food tube. I mean, not really, but, comedically valued, ensuite means, a certain level of comfortableness, doesn't it? Yes. 3 meals a day means Gertie's there. Yes. Every day of the week. Free 3 meals. 3 free meals even. Yes, a day. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be waiting for seconds, I would. What's happened? He won't go back on. Stop putting your arm up like that. Very uncomfortable viewing.
That did end up housing asylum seekers.
Yes, because he was a socialist,
But at the point they started housing asylum seekers, they ceased to be 4-star hotels.
Did they?
They became asylum seeker...
reception centres.
Not detention centres,
because
you're free to go, but holding centres, if you like. The idea that you...
Oh, God almighty, if I was with him, I'd be like, listen, get us another drink. I'm going outside to commit harry-carry. Bye-bye now. You got the ad there again, haven't you? You got the ad there.
An asylum seeker has moved into one of these hotels and can avail themselves every day of the room service.
You'd be skateboarding, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? One foot in front of the other.
The facilities is not just silly.
Oh, got to go.
It's disgusting. It's a blatant lie.
You'd be texting your friend, wouldn't you? Ring me and make out that my house is on fire, wouldn't you?
Call in to the Justice Secretary asking for examples of hotels where asylum seekers receive the same level of 4-star service that paying customers would have received before the hotel was repubbed.
Lots of empty houses over in the posh areas, I've been round them quite a lot, in fact, between me and you, yes. Yes, there's many empty accommodations up in your Hampstead. Yes, there is, yes. Oh, it's rather nice up there, it is. Yeah, round your Kensington, Chelsea areas. Yes, Camden, as I've said, all those areas. Yes, very nice round there. I wonder whether they could, maybe avail themselves, because after all, these people don't want them on a cruise liner, do they? Getting 3 free meals a day and ensuite accommodation with reception rooms and one another things, bits and pieces. When I go down my high street, there's people sat in the bleeding doorways and the shops are all boarding up.
We're waiting to hear back. They tried to pass us on to the Home Office at first, claiming that it was a claim that had been made by them. But I heard the Justice Secretary make that claim on LBC this morning, and therefore I think he should account for his claim.
Don't be rude.
4-star hotel accommodation was previously being
He's absolutely he's obsessed with his 4-star accommodation, isn't he? How dare people say they were getting 4-star accommodation? I mean, only I get that. Come on, James. Getting bored now.
We'll let him off the Ritz comment because that can be a figure of speech.
What about
but
Dorchester?
It's a very deliberate figure of speech designed to make you think that these asylum seekers are enjoying a better standard of living than you do. I'm getting texts also about them being frightened of the water. So I don't know why they're coming into the studio, but if you had crossed the channel in a dinghy, knowing full well that people had died making the same journey, it's possible you'd be a little less relaxed about water subsequently than you were before you got in that death trap. So there we are.
It'd be nice if you were a bit more blimmin' circumspect with the water. Stay off the liquids, James.
Anger is not the right word.
I can't stop him. He just won't stop. He's absolutely unstoppable. His ego and narcissism is ragingly off the scale. But unfortunately, his tiny little brain is sort of oscillating somewhat. And, it's like a little engine that just whirs on, like little Duracell batteries. Bless him, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just trying to make something out of nothing as usual, like they all do these times. Oh, there's me arm again. Yeah, me arm's got a starring role. Yes, it has. Oh, anyway, VTubers, if you could like and subscribe, I know there's no point, but whatever. If you like it, press like. If you don't like it, tell me you don't like it. Give me nasty comments. I love them. Bye. Love you all. Bye.